نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله Insha'Allah ta'ala, I will go through important rulings regarding the Qurbani, sacrifice. In Arabic we say udhiyah, in Urdu Qurbani, and in English sacrifice. Performing the Qurbani is wajib in the days of Nahr. Ayyamun Nahr. The days of Nahr are from the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, Fajr time of the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, till the Maghrib of the 12th of Dhul Hijjah. So before Maghrib begins, on the 12th of Dhul Hijjah, one can perform the Qurbani. So from the Fajr time of the 10th of Dhul Hijjah till the beginning of Maghrib, on the 12th of Dhul Hijjah, one can perform the Qurbani. Yes, the mas'ala for the one living in the village is that he can perform the Qurbani when Fajr time enters. But the one who lives in a city where the Eid prayer takes place, for him the mas'ala is different. He will perform Qurbani after the Eid Salah. Performing the Qurbani before the Eid Salah will not be valid for him. The first question is that who has to perform the Qurbani? Upon whom is the Qurbani wajib, necessary? There are conditions. If they are found in a person, we will say Qurbani is wajib upon him. Number one, Muslim, being a Muslim. The Qurbani is not wajib upon the disbeliever, the kafir. Qurbani is wajib upon the Muslim. Number two, the second condition is sanity. The Qurbani is not wajib upon the insane. The third condition is baligh, having reached the age of maturity. Being mature. So the one who has reached the age of maturity, Qurbani will be necessary upon him if all of the conditions are met, if the other conditions are met. So number one, Muslim. Number one, Muslim. Number two, sanity. And number three, baligh, having reached the age of maturity. The boy who experiences nocturnal emission, he is considered to having reached the age of maturity. Or if none of the signs appeared and he reached the age of 15, the Islamic law, Sharia, will consider him as being mature, having reached the age of maturity. And for a girl, if she experiences menstrual bleeding, this is a sign that she has reached the age of maturity. Or a wet dream likewise. So if the signs have not become apparent and the boy or girl reaches the age of 15, they are considered mature, having reached the age of maturity. And another condition is muqib, resident. The Qurbani is not wajib upon the traveler. Who is the traveler? The one who intends to travel for 57.5 miles or more after leaving the boundary of his city. He is a traveler, and he will do qasr, he will shorten the 4 fard prayers to 2 fard. And after he reaches his destination, if his intention is to remain at his place of stay for less than 15 days, he remains a traveler. He remains a traveler. But if his intention is to remain there for 15 or more days, then he no longer remains a traveler. So the one who intends to travel for 57.5 miles or more after leaving the boundary of his city, he's a traveler. After reaching his place of stay, if he intends to remain there for less than 15 days, he is still considered a traveler. But if his intention is to remain there for more than 15 days, then he no longer is considered to be a traveler. And the final condition is being sahib nisab, malik nisab, owner of the nisab threshold. Nisab means threshold. What is the threshold amount? 52.5 tola of silver or 7.5 tola of gold. Or if one has cash equal to the amount of 52.5 tola of silver, which may be around about 255 to 260 pound approximately, near this amount, you can go online and check the price of 52.5 tola of silver. 52.5 tola of silver, this is the threshold. So if one has cash equal to the threshold amount, or he has business stock that he purchased with the intention of selling, he will note the prices of those items down. Okay, so when the 10th of Dhul Hijjah arrives, he will see how much wealth he has, the cash he has in his possession. If he has any business stock he purchased, any stock he purchased with the intention of selling, he will write the prices of all those items down. Okay? Their current market rate value price. If he has any silver or gold, he will write their prices down. If he has any items on the side he doesn't use, they are not part of his necessary needs. Hajat asliya. What does hajat asliya mean? Something that is part of his necessary needs. Without it, his life becomes extremely difficult. For example, your mobile phone or your house, your clothes. So these items are from your hajat asliya, necessary needs. Or for a student of knowledge, his books he needs to study. So anything he has on the side, he has an extra phone on the side or an extra car on the side or decoration pieces, he will also note down their prices. Okay? And if anyone owes him money, he will note that down as well. And he will count how much he has. Now he will deduct any money he owes, loans, debts. He will deduct this month's mortgage, only this month's installment mortgage. Okay? And money he owes to people, he will deduct that money. And then he will see how much he has left. If what he has left equals to the threshold amount, then Qurbani will be necessary upon him. So he will deduct only this month's mortgage, bills, etc. He will take out his loans and he will see how much he has left. If what he has left is equal to the threshold amount or it's more, then Qurbani will be wajib upon him. Qurbani will be wajib upon him. And if a sister has no silver, no cash, but she only has gold, then the threshold amount is 7.5 tola of gold. So if she has 7.5 tola of gold or more, then Qurbani will be wajib upon her. If she has this much gold in the days of Qurbani, which is from the 10th of Dhul Hijjah Fajr time before Maghrib begins on the 12th of Dhul Hijjah. So these are the conditions. If they are found in a person, we will say Qurbani is wajib upon him. So let's go through them again. Number 1, Muslim, Qurbani is not wajib upon the kafir, non-believer. Number 2, sanity, being sane. Qurbani is not wajib upon the insane. Number 3, Bulughah, baligh, having reached the age of maturity. Qurbani is not wajib upon the child. That child who experiences nocturnal emission is considered to having reached the age of maturity, or if a girl experiences the same or experiences menstrual bleeding, she is considered to having reached the age of maturity. Now, they have to follow Islam. Those actions that are fard, they must perform those actions. If none of the signs of maturity appear, and the boy or girl reach the age of 15, they are considered mature baligh. Okay, so maturity, residency, being a resident. The Qurbani is not wajib upon the traveler. Who is the traveler? The one who intends to travel for 57.5 miles or more after leaving the boundary of his city. And when he reaches his place of stay, if he intends to remain there for less than 15 days, he remains a traveler. Another important mas'ala, if he has no intention, he is not clear regarding his intention, how many days will he remain at his destination. If this is the case, then he will remain a traveler. For example, he says, I will return back to my city if Zaid visits me. So he's waiting for Zaid to visit him, but he doesn't know when Zaid will visit him. So he's unsure when he will return back. He's not sure exactly when he will return back home. So in this case, he will remain a traveler. The only case when he will no longer remain a traveler is if he intends to remain at his place of stay for 15 days or more. Okay, so if it's less than 15 days, then he remains a traveler, and the Qurbani is not wajib upon the traveler. Malik nisab, the Qurbani is wajib upon the Malik nisab, the one who owns the threshold amount, which is 52.5 tola of silver or 7.5 tola of gold. So these are the conditions. If they are met, if they are found in a person, Qurbani will be wajib upon him. Now people need to understand this mas'ala ruling, that upon whoever Qurbani is wajib upon, he must perform Qurbani. It's not enough for the father to perform Qurbani on his behalf and on behalf of his children. This is not correct. Each and every member of the household will do his own hisab, accountability. And if Qurbani is wajib upon him, he will do Qurbani. Father can't say, oh, I will perform one Qurbani for myself and for the rest of my household. Yes, if they give the father permission and he performs Qurbani on their behalf, the Qurbani will be valid. But he can't perform one Qurbani and say, this is from myself and from all my children and my wife. No. Okay? He must perform one Qurbani, fulfill his wajib, and if they give him permission, he will perform another Qurbani, and he will be their agent, okay, wakil. And with regards to the animals that must be sacrificed, the small animals, goat, sheep, lamb, then the larger big animals, cow, buffalo, and camel. For a goat, one person can put his share for a goat, just one person. It can only be on behalf of one person. And with regards to the cow, buffalo, or camel, 7 people, it can be, the Qurbani can be on behalf of 7 people. 7 people can put their share in. 7 people. But each person's share must not be less than the 7th part. For example, just give an example. Let's say a cow is for £85. This isn't the case. I believe maybe the cow is more expensive. I'm not aware. Allah knows best. But let's just to give an example, let's say the cow is worth £85. Now, if you divide 85 by 7, it equals 12. 12, yeah? So each person's share, the bare minimum, must be £12. Yeah? One person can put more than one share, but from the shareholders, each and every shareholder, the bare minimum price he can put in is £7. If it's £12. If it's less than this, his Qurbani will not be valid, and all of the shareholders, their Qurbani will also not be valid. Okay. And for the small animals, the goat, sheep, only one person can put his share in. One person. It can be on behalf of one person. So if 2 people pay the price of the goat or sheep, then neither of the Qurbani will be valid. Neither of the Qurbani will be valid. And for the big animals, the cow, buffalo, camel, each and every shareholder must make an intention of performing the Qurbani. His intention should be that he is performing the Qurbani to attain the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. Yeah? To fulfill this wujub of Qurbani, to attain the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. If his intention is to attain meat, the Qurbani will not be valid. His Qurbani will not be valid, and all of the people who have put their share in, their Qurbani will not be valid. So this is also very important to take note of. And also the animal that is being sacrificed must be free from major defects. If its nose is missing, the Qurbani will not be valid. If the animal is blind from one eye or it's completely blind, its Qurbani will not be valid. If majority of the teeth are missing, so much teeth are missing that he can't even chew his food, Qurbani will not be valid. If the horn is cut from the roots, the Qurbani will not be valid. But if it is cut from the top, the Qurbani will be valid. And if the tail is cut off of the animal, majority of the tail is cut off, two-thirds of the tail is cut, the Qurbani will not be valid. If the ear is cut, or the animal was born without ears, its Qurbani will not be valid. If majority of the ear is cut, one or both, the Qurbani will not be valid. If the animal is so weak it can't walk, one leg is missing, its Qurbani will not be valid. If it is so weak that it can't reach the Qurban Gah, where the Qurbani takes place, where the slaughter takes place, it's so weak it can't reach the place of slaughter, then its Qurbani will not be valid. And the ages of the animal, for the small animal, the sheep, goat, the bare minimum age is 1 year. 1 year. If the sheep, goat is less than 1 year of age, its Qurbani will not be valid. Yes, if it is 6 months, and it seems as its age is 1 year, the Qurbani will be valid. The Qurbani will be valid. Yeah, but if it is less than 6 months, then its Qurbani will not be valid, even if it looks like it's a year. But if it is 6 months and it looks like it is 1 year of age, its Qurbani will be valid.